Welcome back, all you hardcore wrestling fans. Aaron Royal here for another week of IPW Weekly Recap right here on UPN 44. Later on, as always, I'll be joined by the hardcore giant Ron Niemi, and he's going to read a very, very special letter to all you great fans. But first, let me tell you about tonight's show. First, we have a big tag team match. It's Mark Zout and Special Ed taking on the two Pats, McGroin and Powers. That's going to be up first. Then a cruiserweight contenders match as two masked guys go at it. It's the Bug versus rookie sensation Concession Boy. And our main event is for the IPW heavyweight title. Your champion, Billy Fives, taking on former champion and independent superstar, the Black Nature Boy, Scoot Andrews, in our main event. And fans, don't forget, tomorrow night, January the 26th, Saturday night at 8 p.m., it's IPW Presents Hostile Takeover. We've got two big tag team title matches for the IPW tag team titles. Quickie Mart defends against two members of Wrongful Death. And for the Wild Side tag team titles, Blackout comes down here to defend their titles against the very popular Risk Factor, taking IPW by storm. Fans, let's go to that first tag team match right now. All right, fans, this should be an interesting tag team encounter. These two guys teaming up for the first time. It's superfan Mark Zout, his Big Daddy Mark Diesel, and he's there with Special Ed, who seems to not even be able to find his way to the ring, Ron.
Special Ed rode the short bus on the way to the WrestlePlex tonight and getting in the ring with the Fashion Police, Pat McGroin, and the mercenary, Pat Powers.
Yes, Ron, and look at this coming up right here. They're being led to the ring by the man who claims to be the true owner of IPW. He's Mr. Peskin, and he took a shot at you, Ron, by saying that Pat and Pat should join his stable if they want to be true paid professional wrestlers.
Now, Mr. Peskin, I would give him the opportunity to get over whatever he's spewing on the stick right now, but he's never been known as a promo man. He's never been known as
Hey, shock and roll, baby.
Yeah, exactly. That's his idea of a catchphrase.
That's true, Ron Niemi, and yes, I just said it again. Fans, as I said, this should be a very interesting tag team match. These two guys, Pat and Pat. Oh, look at this. He took a page out of Ron Niemi's book. When in doubt, just grab his crotch.
He hits him with a big-time schoolboy, named after a young schoolboy named Johnny Smith, who went to school in Marquette, Michigan, on his way to the...
Okay, Ron, the only Johnny Smith I know about is a wrestler from England, and nobody wants to hear about the AWA, much less your boyhood days in Michigan. And that was a nice suplex maneuver there by Pat Powers. We haven't seen that from him before.
Pat Powers, he can pull out any move at any given time. He is in the ring right now not to win the match, not to come in there and play some pretty wrestling match. He wants to come in and hurt these individuals. Special Ed, he looks like he's lost. He's in there, his partner's getting destroyed in the ring by the Pats. He don't know what to do, and I guarantee you this isn't going to be an easy match for these two young competitors. Pat Powers, he's out there to hurt them.
Okay, Ron, as you made a great point, this makes a very interesting tag team. These two young guys, Special Ed and Mark Zout. You see a big elbow there by Pat McGroin. These two guys, as I said, they haven't teamed before, but it almost seems like with the attitude these two guys have, both guys seem a little lost at times. These two guys actually make quite an interesting duo. Maybe they'll make themselves a good tag team here in IPW.
Now, you got Mark Zout, once an IPW tag team champion. Yes, that is shocking, but as a member of the Curtain Jerkers with Rod Steele, he knows what it's like to taste that gold. He knows what it's like to be a champion in IPW, and Pat McGroin, former IPW television champion, just get Russian leg sweeped by Special Ed for a 2 count. The mullet, get in there and count to 3.
Come on, Richie. Don't quit paying attention to all the Richie's rats at ringside and do your job, ref. And Special Ed, he's come leaps and bounds in the last few weeks here. He actually pays attention sometimes during his matches, and I'm sure the former IPW TV champion held that belt for a long time. Didn't expect this kind of a match out of Special Ed, and I'm just kind of wondering, what was Pat doing just waiting for Ed to come up behind him right there?
I don't know what the hell he was waiting for. I think these guys are taking Special Ed and Mark Zout far too lightly. And you see Special Ed, he's not afraid to trade chops with the monster Pat Powers, and he gets whipped into the corner for his troubles, and his spine gets rearranged and his eyes almost poked right out of his scalp.
That's a good point you make there, Ron Niemi. Special Ed taking it right to Pat Powers. Pat thought, I could chop this young guy, intimidate him, and he's just going to buckle. That's not what happened. He threw him right in the corner and chopped him back just as hard, if not harder, and you saw the surprised look in Pat Powers' face. He's a veteran. He knows better than to take guys lightly, and that shows you just why right there.
Special Ed's a good example of what the training at the Florida WrestlePlex can do for you. He come in here, he was the type of guy that walked in the door. We didn't know what the hell we were going to do with this guy. But he came in, he got the training that anybody can get by calling 727-526-6778 or by visiting IPW-hardcore.com. He came in here and he got the best training available, and now he's in here at the Florida WrestlePlex with some of the best independent wrestlers in the entire world.
Okay, and speaking of Pat McGroin, Ron, he's going to be a part of that big show coming up tonight. That's Saturday, January the 26th at 8 p.m. at the Florida WrestlePlex. Tell everybody about that big matchup.
The Florida WrestlePlex on the 26th, Hostile Takeover. It's going to be Rod Steele and Pat McGroin with Mr. Peskin and the mercenary Pat Powers in their corner against one of the most unlikely teams that we've ever had in IPW. That's Devin Nash, who's got a bitter, broiling feud with Pat McGroin and Pat Powers, and he's teaming up with the one and only Rasta Man, one of the most popular wrestlers in IPW.
Tell you what, Rasta Man always ready to stand up for IPW, and he's doing just that. And how about Richie Rich getting into the action, pushing down Pat Powers there?
Richie Rich has been taking matters into his hands more and more. He's supposed to be in there calling it right down the middle like the straight call, the sharpshooter, what do they call him, Star Stevens?
They just call him the Mud Baby or the Hamburglar where I come from.
Good point.
Okay, double swing into the ropes there. I don't know why I called it a swing, but there you see Mark Zout actually taking down Pat McGroin with a clothesline. Mark Zout doesn't look quite as lost as he did in his past encounter with Bug. Looks like maybe dressing up as Diesel there gave him a little bit of confidence.
I don't know if it's dressing up as Diesel. I don't know if he's got a 3-on-2 match with the mullet in their referee in this match. I don't know what it is. But when Mark Zout came to the back after that match, he knew he took him to the limit. He knew he did everything he could. And the truth is, Mark Zout, he came to me and he said, Ronnie, I'm going down to Extra Innings Ballpark Cafe down at 1850 Central Avenue, right in St. Pete, and I'm going to enjoy some of those hot chicken wings with the blue cheese.
All right, Ron. As already been determined here, no one wants to hear you talking about the same old food fetishes week in and week out. But I must say, I tried those wings last time, and they are quite tasty.
They're very spicy indeed.
Okay, another suplex maneuver by Pat Powers. He's known as just a big power wrestler, but he's showing some scientific ability in there, going back to his roots almost. He's learning that you can't just be one-dimensional here in IPW. The fans don't come to see that. They come to see great overall quality wrestlers. I don't know what I'm talking about, Ryan.
Spit it out. There he is with the flying gentle somersault across his chest that Mark Zout is selling. He happens to have a very soft chestal cavity.
Or a chestal region, as I might call it, Ron.
It doesn't matter if it's a chestal region or chestal cavity. When Pat McGroin does a somersault over you, it hurts, brother.
Yeah, and he misses that move quite a bit, but he hit it right there and Mark Zout, and the two-patch, the veteran duo, taking over. These guys have teamed many times before. We haven't seen them in the tag team ranks as much lately because Pat McGroin was busy defending that IPW television title, but now these two guys are back in the tag team ranks, and I hear that they're going after these guys. They're going after anybody in IPW to get a shot at Quickie Mart.
What they want is they want Quickie Mart. They want a shot at the Florida Unified Tag Team Championship, but first they got to get by Mark Zout and Special Ed. And you know, last week I was listening to my good friend Cowhead on Sports Radio 1010 The Team Saturday morning at 11 a.m. until noon. As a matter of fact, I wasn't listening. I was talking about the great wrestling action here at the Florida WrestlePlex. Everybody knows that Ron Niemi is one of the most eloquent speakers in all of wrestling. And I was talking about Pat McGroin and I was talking about Pat Powers, and they were the individuals. They were the tag team that I said at any time they can vie for a singles championship, at any time they could take that IPW and NWA Florida Tag Team Championship.
Pat McGroin and Pat Powers, no doubt about it, two of the top wrestlers here in IPW. And Ron, if you want to check out about them and a bunch of other IPW wrestlers, the whole history of all of our feuds, you can not only check out IPW-hardcore.com, you can also check out ProWrestlingDaily.com. That's all one word. And of course, you can listen to Shannon Rose, Barry Horowitz, and myself each and every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. on Pro Wrestling Weekly. That's the radio show on 1040 a.m. And starting February 9th, we're also back on Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Be sure to check it out.
You see, Pat McGroin, he doesn't take too kindly to his idiot competitor blowing another
Look, he's
spot.
flexing like you, Ron.
there's nobody that can flex like me. But he doesn't like somebody coming in there stumbling around and making a fool out of himself, and he misses a huge flying Pat McGroin flippity-doo.
Yeah, I told you he misses with that maneuver quite often, kind of like Vader with the moonsault. It's an impressive maneuver, but if you want it to do any damage, you actually have to do it. And Ron, I smell a hot tag, and there it is.
Here comes the hot tag, Robert Gibson style. If he starts signing and starts running around with bandanas around his ankle and high-fiving people for no reason, I'm leaving, Aaron.
Actually, you talked about Robert Gibson, but we did say on Ed's birth certificate, it says Ed Norwegian Morton. And as I told people before, I asked him one time, does that mean that you truly are the lost illegitimate son of one Ricky Morton? But all he ever says is, huh?
As a matter of fact, I was standing right there when he said that to you. And he's in there with Pat McGroin getting the life kicked out of him right now, and he gets locked into a, what do you call that, Aaron?
I'm not sure. It just looks like he tried to pick him up for a slam maneuver. Ed fought, and he just said, forget it. I'm just going to power this little skinny kid right to the mat.
And he whips him in, and he goes right back into whatever the hell he was trying the first time, scoops him up and hits him with a huge body slam. You see, if you hit the spots you're supposed to, and you do what you're supposed to in the match, Pat McGroin will slam you like a wrestler, not dump you like a bad habit, brother.
Or throw you around like a sack of potatoes like you always say, Ron Niemi. But their special ed gets the DDT. And these two guys are impressing me, Ron Niemi. I didn't think these two guys really stood a whole lot of a chance to go this long against the veteran duo. And there you see Mr. Peskin saving the day. I tell you what, he's acting like the current IPW owner.
Why is it that Mr. Peskin finds it that he's got to interfere in the match? Oh my God, did you see that huge fist to the head of special ed?
And it looks like he had some brass knuckles or something there as he puts them back in his tights. And that's a 3 count, Ron Niemi. Richie Rich finally in there doing his job. And Pat and Pat are taking one step closer to going after Quickie Mark.
Mr. Peskin wants to make his presence felt here in IPW. And with Pat McGroin and Pat Powers and those brass knuckles he just knocked him out with, they're going to do just that.
All right, fans, we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Callahan from Tampa Bay's only wrestling show, The Steel Cage, on Sports Radio 1010 The Team.
I'm the Putz.
And this is the hardcore giant, Ron Niemi.
And of course, this is our producer, The Foreign Object.
Join us Saturdays at 11 on Sports Radio 1010 The Team.
We're the home of the Bucks, the and now
IPW, hardcore professional wrestling.
it's every Saturday at 11 on Sports Radio 1010 The Team.
Cruiserweight encounter coming up here, fans. And look at this. Bug comes out looking like he's got a six-pack. But look at that. It is, after all, a Ron Niemi gut.
Don't even compare Bug to Ron Niemi. And there's Concession Boy, who I was starting to earn some respect for, who I was giving the Ron Niemi push. And then last week I went to the concession stand at the WrestlePlex, and I said, please give me some extra salt on my popcorn. And I ate it, and it was like eating the salt brine on the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, like taking the salt. And
Ron, I swear, you talk about sillier and sillier stuff every week. I can't even hardly figure out what you're talking about, much less these fans. And we saw Concession Boy. He was spilling stuff, popcorn, all over the ring, and Star said, Daddy, let me tell you something. When I'm performing my hamburger duties at McDonald's, they'd never, ever let me get away with that.
Star Stevens was very upset. He said just that. But you see him, he lets Concession Boy throws the closed fist. He lets him knock him down with a clothesline across his belly button. Star Stevens, the mud baby, he doesn't care.
Around these two masked competitors, both are cruiserweights here in IPW. Everyone going after that light heavyweight title, cruiserweight title, whatever we're calling it these days, currently held by your former man, Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar is the Florida Unified Cruiserweight Champion. That is 3 titles now. That's the IPW, NWA Florida, and SCW Cruiserweight Championship. That's the only cruiserweight belt that means anything in Florida.
The SCW?
Whatever that is. He does have it, though.
Okay. There you see Concession Boy, little surprising here, taking over on Bug. Bug hasn't been in the sport that long, but Concession Boy is a rookie, and you can tell he's a rookie right here. He goes to put that finisher on, but he's too close to the ropes, and Bug very smartly grabs that rope, and the referee calls for the break.
He hits him with the beautifully applied single leg funnel kick, but unfortunately the Bug is too close to the ropes, grabs it, and comes up with a boot to the gut, and Star Stevens is too busy telling Concession Boy, hey, buddy, I think you dropped some of your popping corn.
Oh, what's going on here, Ron? He's got him by the neck. Oh, nice head scissors takeover by Bug, and he might get a 3 count here. 1, 2, no, not quite. Concession Boy kicks out.
Now, can you actually give somebody a Hurricane Rana into the ropes, have him spin back and hook his legs like that, and still be a legal pinfall, Aaron?
I believe so, Ron. He came off the ropes. The referee did not call for a break. If the referee lets it go, it's legal.
Star Stevens doesn't know what's happening in there. All he cares about is hooking up with some rat at ringside, taking her to the airport, and making love on the hood of his car as the airplanes fly overhead.
And of course, sharing that sweet, sweet, small funny with Rastaman. And look at this, Quickie Mart comes in. What are they doing here? These guys are supposed to be good guys, but they're giving a little bit of the Ron Niemi treatment to Bug there.
You want to talk about confusing? You want to talk about what are these guys doing? This is the IPW and NWA Florida Tag Team Champions, and they're in there putting the 24/7 on Bug, enabling Concession
look at
Boy
that.
to hit him with the single leg funnel cake.
Right into the funnel cake, and I don't think Bug's gonna make it, guys. And there's the tap out. Fans, we'll be back in just a moment.
Once again, fans, this is your IPW Commissioner, Honest Eddie Edwards, and this is the IPW Event Center. IPW returns to the Florida WrestlePlex Saturday night, January 26th for Hostile Takeover. Contact the Plex today at 727-526-6778 for the very latest in ticket information. The main event, Quickie Mart will defend their Florida Unified Tag Team Championship against Wrongful Death. Then IPW returns to the Plex on February the 8th for another action-packed card. Then IPW invades Winter Haven in the Chain Lake Civic Center on February the 19th for a joint show. As always, for the very latest on all these events, be sure to check out IPW-hardcore.com.
For all the latest news in the world of professional wrestling, be sure to visit ProWrestlingDaily.com.
Big win for the rookie Concession Boy, though I've got to admit, Ron, he got a little bit of help from your favorite tag team and mine, Quickie Mart.
It might be your favorite tag team, Aaron Royal,
I think it is.
but it sure as hell isn't the Hardcore Giants' favorite tag team, the team that stole the Florida Unified Tag Team Championship
They have
from...
slushies.
They stole the belts from the Shane Brothers and 911 Incorporated. Now they go ahead and recruit Concession Boy, and supposedly Quickie Mart now owns a concession stand at the Florida WrestlePlex. Now you can get Slim Jim. What the hell are you waving under my nose, Aaron?
You know exactly what I'm waving under your nose, Ron Niemi. You don't like to admit it, but yeah, people are listening to Aaron Royal and about my treatment here, and some fans actually want to help. So why don't you read this on the air and let all the people know exactly what I'm talking about.
Dear IPW, Ron Niemi informed me that I could obtain an autographed picture of him and Aaron Royal for $20 by mailing a check or money order to his address. Enclosed is a check in the amount of $20. I hope to receive the autographed pictures of Aaron and Ron soon. Thank you for the assistance in this matter. Sincerely, Bradley Kelville. Bradley, I can understand wanting autographed picture of the Hardcore Giant, but $20, even if only he gets a 30-cent commission? You gotta be kidding me. The paper that we print the Hardcore Giant pictures on are worth far more than $20. But this idiot who had a skin graft from his shaft that left him a little bit cockeyed, I don't understand it, Aaron.
Well, Ron Niemi, what people are seeing is that you're abusing me, and the fans don't like it, and they're trying to take care of things. But as much as I may not like that situation, someone who's trying to abuse all of IPW, the man who named this next show Hostile Takeover, is Mr. Peskin.
Mr. Peskin claims to be the rightful owner of IPW Hardcore Wrestling, demanded the show on the 26th tomorrow night be deemed Hostile Takeover. IPW's been trying to be taken over by Howard
All
Brody.
right, Ron, sorry to interrupt you. We got to go to our main event right now.
Not again, Aaron. Not again.
Here he comes, fans. He's a former IPW heavyweight champion, the Black Nature Boy, Scoot Andrews, and he's going into Shannon Rose right now. What he's actually asking me right there is, did that gut come with that shirt, or is it sold separately?
Scoot Andrews, no love for Shannon Rose, but there you have it. The IPW heavyweight champion, Billy Fives. You talk about independent superstars, Billy Fives and Scoot Andrews is literally a main event in any independent show throughout the country.
Is Jim Ross here?
No, he's not.
Okay, that sounded like a wrestling cliche. I just wasn't sure. But there you see Billy Fies, even more cocky since he won that title. These two guys have gone at it many times in the past. Billy Fies has actually called Scoot Andrews his favorite opponent to wrestle in the ring, but I got a feeling he's not playing favorites with him here tonight.
What a beautiful drop kick by Scoot Andrews. Destroys Billy Fies right in the jaw and takes him out with a big kick. You know, Billy Fies, he's known for his martial arts background. He's known for his toughness. He's not the biggest, he's not the tallest in the independent scene, but he is easily one of the strongest, fastest, and most agile competitors there is. That's why he's the IPW heavyweight champion and just got clothesline right out of his boots.
Whether you're talking about Scoot Andrews, Billy Fives, Mike Sullivan, the Shane Brothers, or as much as I hate to admit it, even guys like David Young and AJ Styles, guys like ODD, the best independent wrestlers in the country flock to IPW. People are calling us up each and every week just wanting to come down to Florida and work our shows, and you can see why as Billy Fives and Scoot Andrews go at it here. Nice leapfrog by Scoot. These two guys are just going back and forth, Ron, and I have no idea who might win this match.
People like to flock.
Yes, they do. And we're not talking about Raven here. We're talking about people coming south, as they say, to Florida, just begging to work for IPW. And it takes a lot to suck up your pride and beg Ron Niemi for anything. Trust me.
Absolutely. But IPW Hardcore Wrestling, they're going to bring in the best wrestlers from all the organizations around the country. We don't
Oh,
just,
my
wow.
God. Beautiful. Throws him back into the ring there. And Billy Fies is lucky he didn't land right in his head because his match and his career would have been over right at that moment.
Events at the WrestlePlace can take so many strange turns, like that huge drop kick off the top rope. Did I just call that a drop
Yes,
kick?
you did, Ron Niemi. That was actually a leg drop. I know neither one of us are play-by-play guys, but please take some time and study. Learn the difference between a drop kick and a leg drop.
The confusion from the last match where Concession Boy was recruited by Quickie Mart, and from what I hear through the newswire now Quickie Mart owns the concession stand at the WrestlePlex. So if you want to go and buy one of those hot, spicy, delicious bratwursts, the money's going right in the pocket of Quickie Mart, and that is nonsense.
Tell you, what's up with this? Mike Peskin claiming to own IPW, Quickie Mart claiming to own the concession stand. Looks like 911 Incorporated getting weaker by the day.
Next thing you know, we'll have Kevin Kelly coming in here claiming known Billy Fives and Scoot Andrews. These two guys, they are loved by Kevin Kelly. He gets them a lot of shots with the WWF. The truth of the matter is, if he would put down the pies and the hostess snack cakes for about 5 minutes and open his eyes and realize what kind of talent these guys got, he would be signing them, not to a developmental deal, but signing them and throwing them on WWF and putting them right on that TV so you can sit there and watch them on Monday nights. I would suck up the loss to have these two guys go and be the stars that they so well deserve to be.
Only a 2 count by Billy Fies. And speaking of Kevin Kelly, the reason he doesn't do that is he's too busy preparing for the WWF's brand new show, WWF Public Access.
Oh, he's going to be the huge star, the 5th string commentator elevated to the actual lead commentator of the Connecticut-based, like you said, WWF Public Access, based in 3 counties near you, if you happen to live in Connecticut.
Okay, not many of our people watching here live in Connecticut, but I'm sure people watching the tapes all over the Northeast that they order each and every week off of IPW-hardcore.com are going to know exactly what we're talking about. And right now, Scoot Andrews is exactly what people are talking about when they talk about how tough Billy Fives is and exactly why he's the heavyweight champion, because Scoot Andrews doesn't lay down for anybody, but right now, Billy Fives has this match definitely going his way.
Like I said about headlining cards throughout the country, this year's Super 8, yeah, IPW got kayfabe. Yeah, they don't have anybody in the tournament. Don't even ask me why, except for the promoter is too busy kissing the backside of the WWF's developmental territory, Heartland Wrestling Association. Those guys deserve to be in the tournament, but they don't deserve to be in there like IPW. But the truth of the matter is, to sell the building out, they have to headline the card with the Billy Fives versus Scoot Andrews ladder match. Yeah, everybody's stealing the ideas of IPW.
Nice cradle suplex there by Billy Fives. Let me tell you, Jeff Peterson would disagree with you on your ECWA comments, but that's neither here nor there. But what is here nor there, and is right now, Ron Niemi, is how I just sold a $20 picture of myself.
You want to talk about ridiculous? I can't move a t-shirt on the internet. I can barely give away the tapes of some of the best wrestling in the entire country, and people are actually buying pictures of Aaron Royal. What the hell has this business come to?
I told you they love me, Ron Niemi. You didn't want to believe it. You're just like Shannon Rose. You don't want to believe anybody can come out of your shadow, but it looks like Aaron Royal just did.
You want to talk about an incredible wrestling sequence? You watch Billy Fives and Scoot Andrews right here trading 2 counts, trading near falls, and he brings Billy Fives into a beautiful backslide. This is just like watching Malenko, Benoit, and Guerrero back when they were tearing it up in ECW and bringing the cruiserweight scene to the level that it's at today. Billy Fives is the IPW heavyweight champion, but facts be told, he is at the cruiserweight weight limit. He could vie for the IPW or any other cruiserweight title in the business, but he's that good. He's that tough. He is the IPW heavyweight champion.
Yes, he is in a very successful run thus far. He's defended it against AJ Styles, and right now he's looking like, well, I was going to say he looked like he might be successful against Scoot Andrews, but he just got pancaked there by the Black Nature Boy. Both men down on the mat, and let's see which one's going to get up, because whoever does is going to have a huge advantage for the rest of this encounter.
He hit him with a beautiful pancake face buster, and since you bring it up, Aaron, I actually like to eat pancakes every Saturday morning with the rich, sweet maple syrup cascaded all over the blanket of pancakes.
Ron, I didn't bring it up so you could go another one of your eating tirades. Try to get something in your stomach before you get to these TV tapings.
I would mention what was in your stomach after your date with Shannon Rose last night, but that's for another time. A huge backdrop on Scoot Andrews on Billy Fives, taking this match over. He's determined to win that IPW heavyweight title and bring it back home to Scoot Andrews.
Hey, just like it was with Kamikaze, it wasn't a date with Shannon Rose. He was taking me out for my birthday, spending $500 at all the local titty bars. And Ron, I'm not going to pass that up, even if it means hanging out with Shannon Rose.
You better hang out with Shannon Rose because...
Oh!
Wow,
Drop kicks him right in the knee.
That's dirty.
That's dirty, but it's some unique offense. And let me tell you what, it looks like it's working, but well, then again, maybe it doesn't. These two guys go back and forth so quickly, you never know who's going to end up on top. This match is going to go to whichever guy catches a lucky break first.
And Billy Fives gets out of the forces of nature.
Oh,
Huge
what is
chair
this?
shot by
Of
Chaos.
course, it's Chaos coming in here again, disrupting everything. Look at this. He already took out Scoop. Bam! He takes out Billy Fives, and I got a feeling. There it goes. Right to Richie Rich. Fans, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Okay, fans, unfortunately, no finish to that great match between Billy Fives and Scoot Andrews. Chaos from NWA Wildside comes in, spewing something about AJ Styles in a three-way dance. He lays all three of those guys doing out with a chair, including the referee, Richie Rich, who, to quote him after that match, said to me, "Man, Aaron, he parted my mullet with that shot."
Richie Rich, no public speaker, that's for sure. But you know something, Chaos, he's got an open challenge here at Hostile Takeover at the Florida WrestlePlex on the 26th of January, tomorrow night. He's going to defend his hardcore title against anybody that accepts his challenge on the roster of IPW. But they're calling it Hostile Takeover for one reason. That's because Mr. Peskin, claiming to be the rightful owner of IPW, he demanded it's called Hostile Takeover, and he's got his charges. Rod Steele and Pat McGroin facing Devin Nash and Rasta Man, one of the most unlikely pairings that I've ever seen in IPW. Mike Peskin, your career is going to come to an end. Your invasion is going to be cut short.
All right, Ron, we got to go, fans. Be there tonight.
No, Aaron, I've had it with you.